Hi guys,
Hello.
welcome back. So today we have Am I the
Back streets
Asshole?
back. All right.
Boom, doo, doo, doo. So, am I the asshole for telling my newfound father and his wife that I'm not going to take part of their religion ever? I met my father in September of last year. I, 16 male, was 15 at the time. I had recently lost my mom to cervical cancer and had found out that my grandparents and two aunts did not want to keep me. And instead of letting me go to my aunt out of state, they contacted the man who wanted nothing to do with me before and involved a social worker. So I would need to go to him instead of my aunt that I actually knew and who did want me. Because a social worker was involved, she made the effort to put me with my biological father over my aunt. I pleaded with her to let me live with my aunt, and my aunt pleaded for this as well, but we were denied. I was told a biological parent would always get custody over an aunt or uncle who has no legal rights to the child, especially when my original guardians, my grandparents, sent me to my father instead. So, in October, 3.5 weeks after I met him for the first time, I moved to another state to live with my father and his family. For those who will tell me I was lied to or whatever, my father has admitted he knew about me, but he was disgusted and embarrassed by his promiscuous ways in the past and for having premarital sex, and he decided to start over. He said his wife was thankfully very open minded and was happy for me to live with them and have a relationship with them despite my origins, which, what the fuck, it doesn't have anything to do with me. My father and his wife are very religious. I'm not. I was raised by an atheist mom. I had mostly atheist family and I have no interest in joining or taking part of any religion. This is a serious point of connection with my father and his family who tried taking me to church and tried to set it up so I would join their church and get baptized. I have refused. I have also said I want to live with my aunt, but that gets denied. I do talk to her via DMs and video calls, but it's not the same. She did try to petition for custody, but the different states thing added complications, especially when a social worker is still actively involved. Things got way more tense recently because two of my father's other kids were questioning me on why I don't pray and stuff like that, and told them I didn't believe. They tried to get me involved with their church stuff, and I said no. They got upset and tried to do all their converting stuff, and they're only middle schoolers, for fuck's sakes. My father tried to tell me I shouldn't shoot it down so quickly, and he told me to give it a try. I said no. And then his wife decided to get her say, and she told me I should be grateful for a chance to be saved, and I'm being very stubborn, and should show them respect as my parents to let them guide me into religion. I told her they are not my parents, they are vandals, and that I'm forced to live with, and I will never take part in their religion ever. And they need to accept that because I don't believe in God for anything. They didn't like my mindedness, and they were pissed I spoke to them with such finality. Am I the asshole?
Hmm. I have strong opinions about religion, but go ahead. Go. I want you to answer that first, and then I give my opinion because
I
my
don't
opinion is a little bit.
I don't think is he is the asshole. And he's also only 16. He lost his mom. He just met this guy who's his bio dad, but he didn't want anything to do with him because he was ashamed of him.
Hmm.
But now I guess his
So the
wife,
kid was ashamed of the dad.
no,
That was him, the kid. Okay.
the dad was ashamed of the kid when he
Hmm.
got the girl pregnant because
Okay.
it was unholy, right?
Okay.
He never met his dad. His mom passes away, meets the biological dad.
Did you know we have unholy sex
Ay, Dios mío.
before we got married?
Anyways, so
We're sinners.
ooh,
Hmm.
I just said fuck, 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 right? And
Yeah.
okay.
I'm going to help. I have no salvation.
Okay, anyways. Um, I don't think the kid is an asshole because he just met these people. He has never believed in such religion and they're forcing it down upon him, right? I think he should go to church maybe once or twice just to try to get
Why?
to hold on. But go once or twice just to like, okay, I went, I tried, I don't like it. Respect my decision. He's
Why?
16. What? Why what?
Why he has to go and
I
try?
didn't say why and try. Just if he wants to appease
You
them
don't have to.
once.
At 16, you should be entitled to your opinion if you want to go to church or not. Especially when we know a lot of churches out there. I'm not saying all of them, but there are a lot of religions out there. They do like,
Come with me.
yeah, no, they just brainwash you to with guilt, and then to control you.
And it does sound like it's that kind of church because the stepmom is like, oh, you should be grateful that you have a chance of salvation. Like, no thank you. I think in a way he should have said, because he's saying no, 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 right? Maybe it's like, look, explain, like, I'm not going to do this. I'm
But I
sorry, but
but
that's
I
it.
I think he probably had explained. I the pro I think, well, I was raised very religious, right? I was first my first 3 years of life was in a Catholic church, and then I think when I was turned four, I believe 4 or 5, my parents uh,
Decided to go
became
in a
you know
cult.
became no, it wasn't a cult, became a Baptist,
The
and
way you explain it to me sounds like a cult.
well, it's a very traditional way of studying and seeing the Bible, right? It's obviously they have very strict norms and regulations how you live, how you should live your life. But when you're a kid, you don't have this choice, right? You're living with your parents, and you gotta go. There is no other way. I
You're
had,
forced.
yeah, I didn't have the option of skipping Sunday mass or biblical school in the mornings. I didn't have that option. But at 16, you should have this a saying, do I go or not? I think, look, my thing with religion has a place in society. I think
Yeah.
without religion, we will be much worse than we how we are today. Right? Religion, it creates character, right? It makes you more responsible in society in some ways, right? Like you shouldn't be going out there and killing each other or cheating your spouse or lying or trying to take advantage of other people. And for that, I think religion has its place, right? And if you want to believe in a higher,
Deity.
yeah, you want to believe in God, or if you wanted to believe in angels, you want to believe in saints, it's up to you, right? I have a different point of view on this type of things, and I do believe there's a God out there, like a
Yeah.
universal force, but I would never impose to my kid and say, "Hey, you gotta go to church," because I don't go, because I left the church.
Yeah, but this case, what I mean is because you were saying like why, why? My point that I was trying to say is he's living with this new family, and I think they're trying to impose their ways, and they shouldn't. Maybe they want him to join, and I think if I was the kid, just to kind of keep the peace, I would have gone just once to say like, look, I tried it, I don't like it, that's it.
But
But and another thing,
haven't he done that? That's
yeah, that's
the
the thing.
question.
And another thing, like he doesn't want to be there. I think he's big enough to have the autonomy to say, "Look, I want to live with my aunt who actually wants me. Let me go with her." Because why are they trying to push a relationship with a stranger just because it's the DNA?
Families are complicated, and especially when you don't have this connection with them. In his case, he barely knew who his father was, and it was like a surprise for him. Not that it was a surprise that he had a father, but it was a surprise for him how the mechanics on the father side of the family
Yeah.
worked.
And this kid has trauma. His mom passed away recently from a cancer. His grandparents didn't want him.
I think in the end of the day, it's valid for you to show your kid if you're a religious person, right? Like if you're Catholic or a Baptist or whatever,
But don't impose.
or no, what like or Buddhist, whatever you are. Like in the first few years of his life, like I say, there is a place for religion. I think being raised religious can help creates a certain
Yeah,
character
and to have
that,
values.
yeah, certain values that it's good for society, right? But in this case, when you're a teenager or an adult, I don't think religion should be imposed upon anybody, and especially like one of my biggest pet peeves nowadays is when people use religion as an excuse to do something, or as a premise of, oh, I'm more
Holy.
holy or wise or whatever because my God said this or the Bible said that. Like, who are you to say your God is the right one, right? Because if you take, for example, Eastern religions, like the Hindu religion, and then um, you know,
Hinduism.
Egyptian religion, there are many gods. They're not just one God, right? Uh, I think the Hindus have like thousands of
I
gods.
think they have 1,000. I don't
Yeah,
know. They have a lot.
but in Western religions, they tend to be more monotheistic, right? They only have one God and maybe many saints, and so I don't. I think if you look into the past, they're competing theologies, competing uh, cults or competing religions that each one of them think they are the righteous one, right? The one that uh, held the truth, right?
I mean, I think most of the Abrahamic are very similar, right?
Yeah, but for example, I grew up in the Baptist church, and the Baptist, my pastor at the time, I remember he saying that Catholics are sinners,
But it's
the
funny because the first
Pentecostals were like sinners because they think in prosperity too much,
very
and
judgy.
yeah, but that's the conservatism of many religions. They, it's like a soccer team or a basketball team or whatever. Like, oh, my team is the best one, and everybody else suck.
And it's
Right?
funny how they talk about the Catholics, but the Catholics are like the original Christians. But yeah,
Yes, but if you look back in history, like this relationship between humans and gods and humans and the supernatural, it comes a long way. But there is no one agreement around those history and around the world that says this specific God is the God, right? They're depending where you go, depending where which religion you choose from is different. And when you try to impose that to a 16-year-old kid,
they're gonna pull back.
yeah, they're gonna pull back. I think it's a choice. You should be able at this age to say, "Hey, I want to learn more about Buddhism, or I want to learn more about Christianity, or I want to learn more about Islamism, or I want to learn more about Hebrew." There's so many different religions out there that a 16-year-old can s- start to study,
Or he doesn't want any
or if it's
religion
just
and just try to
anything.
create a relationship with the kid. That's it.
Yeah, like I believe in aliens.
Oh, look,
People,
you're
oh
alien.
yeah, look, the aliens build the pyramids. Uh, and a lot of people believe in different stuff, and
And it's
you,
okay.
yeah, it's okay. Nobody should impose anything, and we don't know the truth until we die.
And
We're
even so,
yeah, we really, like when we die, we're gonna figure out, okay, who was right, you know. And at this point, it's all up for grabs in the whole game of religion, because you can say that your religion is the truthful one, but then when you die, you have Krishna there waiting for you,
or
and
maybe
or you have, I don't know, maybe aliens
or
waiting.
maybe you have yourself up there waiting for you,
Yeah,
and then Jesus was just
yeah,
another alien.
yeah. I think religion it's useful, but it shouldn't be forced upon somebody, especially when you're almost an adult.
And you're trying to establish a relationship with
Yes,
this
and you don't
person.
think anybody should try to impose their religion upon anybody and say like, "Oh, my religion is the right one, yours is the wrong one," because it all depends on the
Or
point
my
of view.
religion's gonna save you. You need saving.
I mean, I think everybody kind of needs a little saving here and there, but I don't think there is a God like m- micromanaging your life
Each
and
person.
looking and like, oh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you're gonna go to heaven or you're gonna go to hell or whatever. I don't think that's how it works.
So Bernadette, he is not the
No,
asshole.
he's not the asshole, and I think the kid, the 16-year-old, should be entitled to have a saying like who he wants to live with, and not just being imposed like, oh, you gotta live with your father, especially when your father is kind of like,
An asshole, because he said, "Oh, I did the unholy act," and this innocent kid that came from his unholy act, now I'm ashamed. No.
yeah, no. All right,
All right, guys,
tell us what you think and leave it as a comment, and don't forget
subscribe.
subscribe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.